my kingdom. Had to buy some harmony. Now I'm flexing with my jewels. You can tell I got a lot on me. Grab another hero, feeling like I hit the lottery. Farming, getting API, stacking profits to the sky. 1x, 2x, 10x more.
What is up, fam?
What's going on, Integral family?
Let's see. So we've got Perilous Journey to go over. We've got stuff to talk about. There's a few items I want to highlight from that announcement, and I'm trying to turn it into a mini AMA. But I hope that most of you had better luck than I did on most of my Perilous Journey claims. Babypunch, you claimed all of yours, right?
Yeah, I claimed all mine. Actually, I got pretty lucky. So I sent 20 heroes, and 8 of them perished. So 12 of them came back. I think that's right around like a 60%. That's
Yeah.
really good considering I didn't send like super high rarity. I did send, however, I sent 1 mythic knight and a common dragoon and an uncommon sage, and all 3 of them came back. So like I am just ecstatic. I got pretty lucky.
Yeah, 60% is way lucky. Let's see. We got Boris Bortrude, 7 out of 23. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
That's
so
rough.
painful. Like we're gonna set up counseling session for anyone that needs to like talk through these.
JP 10 out of 16. That's good. 7 out of 12 is great. I mean, you're anything over 50%. I think you beat the average. All right. Well, hey, here's mine. This is my last one. I claimed most of it. I thought that I would be able to like go back and more easily see everything that died, but like that whole like lost at sea tab wasn't really working, and it's only showing 3 heroes, and I definitely lost more than 3 heroes. The first boat I claimed was 1 survivor and 5 deaths, so it wasn't great so far for me. But this is my cream of the crop, like all my mythics that I was willing to send. My rare dragoon, a legendary dark knight. I mean, 2 of these guys are level 6, so this is kind of.
I feel like we need to do like a fast before you claim this.
We probably should. We should have been doing that starting like a couple days ago, probably. All right, so here it is.
In chat, ninjas for the win. 25 out of 66. Bro, I sympathize with you. Yikes. That is rough.
Let's see how this goes. Yeah, 25 to 66, so 33 would have been 50. Okay, I got 3 survivors.
Okay.
Let's go. Legendary Dark Knight. I don't see my Mythic Dark Knight yet.
Oh.
Legendary Dark Knight, Mythic Archer,
Mythic
Dark Knight, Rare Thief. Let's go. Whoa. My Rare Dragoon died. That sucks, but you know
honestly,
what? All
that is a big win.
Whew. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
That's a big win.
So Gen 0, he was guaranteed return.
Mythic Dark Knight,
185 crystal for this guy.
Wow.
That sucks. That Rare Dragoon. I bought him right before Perilous Journey. I've never bought an elite class. And I think I spent like 350 jewel to buy it, and I got a whopping 22 back. So that hurts. But I'm super happy with 5. Like
huge.
That's a huge win. With that being said, I now have all my Gen Zeros back. So we wanted to just kick off with getting back into our summon. So I'm gonna do my DR1 Archer combo. They both got the PG badge. I could go level him up, but he's already got the level 5, so it's gonna give an extra 1 to luck and an extra 1 to dex here. We could do some of these enhancement stones. These are actually really valuable. We're gonna get into more details about those yet, so I'm not ready to like make decisions on them yet. So I also kind of want to see what the market value of these is as people start to create a market for it. So that's not why I'm not using one of them right now. Although, what is this one? I have 17. What the heck? Let's do it.
You got what one's that one? What stone is that?
I'll check after I approve this contract.
Here, I'll look right now.
Part of game, why not level up before the summon? I mean, I don't really gain anything, and I don't want to like make you guys wait for that. I don't really gain anything from the
As long as you're 5.
level up. He's already level 5, so there's no incremental bonus to the summonee. So which one is this? Is this Dex?
I don't own any of those, so I don't know. Let me pull.
All right, whatever. Let's just do
the
it.
docs. Yeah, the docs don't have images.
Lesser finesse stone, speed.
Okay.
So this is an agility. I'm okay with that. All right. Kept that. We'll boost these up again. We'll just do our quick summons. Gen 0s, it's good to have them back. I thought that Gen 1 10 out of 10s were going to pump a lot more in price, and they didn't. So that was a little disappointing. But I have a bunch of those, and I'll probably be doing like another summon spreadsheet and posting my results on how that goes over the next week or two. And then Babypunch has his 2 that he's summoning with, and he'll summon with those shortly after this. And then we'll talk about what are we doing with our rewards? Are we boosting? We got some info about land tournaments that might be a little helpful and help shape our decision a bit. Also some alpha about how Dexterity works, which has been a little bit of a change from the docs. So all of these need to go into consideration as you're considering how to use your +5 stats to 3 different stats. So we'll get into that in just a bit.
Have you already added most of your +5 Perilous?
Armac PDX wasn't finesse Dex the previous trivia question. You know what? That's really embarrassing. It was.
Don't judge us.
It was.
Don't judge us.
You know, I just got so much going on. I forgot. All right. A rare
Ooh,
knight.
nice.
A
rare thief.
Gardener. Dude, I have so many gardeners. All right. Rare thief.
That's
I'll
good.
I'll never complain about that.
No.
All right. You want to show us what you got?
Let's kick it on over here. Let's grab these boys. So I kind of already scouted the tavern. I didn't find anything that was super valuable to rent, so I'm kind of just going for the floor. Thief Gardeners, I'm going to run with these guys. I'm choosing, there's 2 that are above level 5, so I can add tiers to both of these. I'm going to get +1 strength, +1 luck. Let's see how these go. I'm skipping on the enhancement stone as of right now, just as I need to plan them out a little bit more. I don't have as many as Samichpunch, so I need to calculate a little bit more on those. Here comes the Archer Gardener. Don't curse me like that.
Nikhil Sadev said I had 14 luck on that thief, which is true. That's a lot of luck.
On the thief that I just rented, or on the thief you summoned?
The one that I just summoned. So that's
nice.
The enhancement stone bonus plus the green buff, and I might have hit a couple. I might have hit one on the rarity bonus as well. Koof King asked, Samichpunch, could you speak or maybe write an article about the inner workings of the crystals and stones? Honestly, we're going to talk about it here in a little bit. The docs have it laid out really well, but hopefully after we talk about it, it'll be a little bit more clear. All right, what'd you get?
Curse the Wanderer. Curse him.
Hold up, though. What is the ID? Could have a DR1 maybe, if you got lucky.
Yeah, 156088.
Nope, not a DR1.
Womp womp. All right, round 2. Guys, this feels so good. It's been so long since we've had summoning with these Gen 0s. Let's see. Gen 0. Thief. And again, I've already scouted the tavern. Nothing really stood out as anything worth paying a premium for, so I'm just going thieves off the floor. I'll pay a little bit more just to have the level 7 versus the level 3. So I can add some. So I'll get Dex and Luck for this one. So what did you think about that announcement from Frisky and Hubert?
You know, in terms of like the studio, that's really cool. I'm not sure I fully understand what exactly that means and how exactly that will be much different. But that I won't say AMA because it was really an announcement, but it ended up turning into like a mini AMA. There was a lot of really cool stuff, and I wanted to touch on some of those.
Yeah. Kingdom Studios, it kind of appears just from the look of it a little bit lackluster, but honestly, from the inside of the core team, I'm sure they've got huge plans and they've got big ideas. So it lacks a little bit of shine where it probably is actually a big deal. So we'll kind of see how that pans out. I mean, ultimately, anything that is going to have growth for the game is going to be huge. I mean, anything that's going to cause the game to pump and add value and liquidity, or not liquidity, but just bring. Oh,
Nice, dude. I was gonna say this is gonna be legendary. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I like was feeling it. I set my energy. All right, what is it?
Thank
What's the
you.
what's
I
the
have
profession?
summoned. I think this is the second legendary hero I've ever summoned.
Dex and foraging. Hey,
Dex
that's
and
not bad.
yeah,
Um,
that's not bad.
let's see.
Nice.
Couple quick questions
That's
here.
big.
Boris, do you want to pull up the docs? Maybe we can show up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the stones. He says, does anybody know if the land tournaments will be based off of one stat or just the 8 perilous journey plots? I think that most of them will initially be based off of one. Hubert said in a recent, I think in Discord, that he would consider maybe some that were were random that would benefit things like more all around characters like monks. And then also in the AMA or the answers that he made just barely after this most recent announcement, he said that once combat comes out, we'll be done with this light version of tournaments, and it'll be like a full combat tournament instead. We'll get to Nick Keel's question here in a sec. If they incorporate when they need to docs, not really. There's certain details that are available when you file and create an entity with the Secretary of State, but not everyone would necessarily be doxxed. There would definitely be some people that would have to be doxxed, and anybody could pull that information from the Secretary of State.
Samich put money on the line that Frisky was going to dox himself.
Yeah,
During this
I it was just like the way he phrased it was so suspicious, right? He's like, I have a special announcement to make, so I was like, oh my gosh, he's doxing.
This is the moment.
All right, Nick Keel's question. You want to take this one?
Yeah.
Do stones give a permanent boost to primary and secondary stat growth?
Yeah. So we're on the stones enhancement stones here. So we'll just read it. Stones that, when used during summoning, provide the following bonuses to the associated stat: +4 bonus to the stat, so +4, +3% bonus to the primary stat growth chance of the stat, and +5% bonus to the secondary growth chance of the stat. So these are permanent bonuses to the hero and the stat. So it will get a +4. So say it's a lesser might stone, it'll get +4 strength, and it'll have +3% like success rate, +3% to strength, and +5% to the secondary strength success rolls. So these are permanent bonuses that the hero will get. Enhancement stones are a really big deal and could potentially scale heroes quite a bit further ahead than other heroes. So these are a big deal. Enhancement stones.
Yeah, and and like that's the lesser. Like the regular enhancement stones are even better. Like
Yeah, plus
crazy.
6, plus 5%, and plus 13%. Plus
Can you scroll down
13.
a little? I can't. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm right
Sorry.
here. So plus 13%. That almost makes that on par with like a primary stat growth.
Yeah.
So
Plus
that's
13 on a
really
secondary is
good.
huge. So what that means is over the course of 100 levels, you should get 18, like, we're talking like averages and statistics here. Over the course of 100 levels, you should theoretically have 18 more of that specific stat if you used a regular enhancement stone on them. Well, 6 plus 18 over the course of 100 levels. Obviously, RNG, you could do way better than that. You could also do way worse than that.
Yeah.
That 13% on the secondary is huge, though.
Is huge. When considering at the very beginning, I mean, the regular blue stat, it's plus 2 and plus 4. So this is like a really big bonus to it.
Stones, J. Allen stones, or one-time use per type per hero. Yeah, I mean, enhancement stones are used at the time of summoning, so there is only ever one chance to use it. Crystals, on the other hand, maybe you want to go to the crystals page.
Atonement crystals.
Crystals, on the other hand, can be used every single level up, and it's not like the atonement crystal which gave like flat HP and MP bonuses. I mean, it would be OP if you could use that every time. So they limited that to lesser, normal, and greater atonement crystals can only be used once on a hero. You could use all 3 of them, but you could only use them once per hero. The attunement crystals, the ones that we all got, from the death rewards, these can be used. You can only use one at a time. So it's just like when you summon, there's only one slot to add an attunement crystal, but you could use it over and over and over and over.
On the same hero.
Yep. Every single time you level up, you could use it again and again and again. So you could really use this to like min-max heroes.
One particular guy.
And they're not like crazy. So like walk us through it. But like my first reaction is like they're good. The lesser attunement are okay, but they're not like holy cow. This is like they pale in comparison to enhancement stones.
Yeah. So attunement crystal, it says crystals that, when used during leveling, provide 10% to the primary stat growth chance of the associated stat, and 30% to the secondary stat growth chance for the associated stat. So I believe archers have 80% dexterity, if I'm remembering right. It might not be, but that would essentially boost that to a 90%. And then for the secondary, it would increase it by 30. So you have a really good shot with using these to get both the primary and secondary bonuses to hit on those.
Yeah, and am I on mute? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
So the attunement crystals, unfortunately, like I think that you only get attunement crystals. So not the lesser ones, but the regular ones, if you lost an elite or exalted. So you had to send, it was really only Dragoon stages and Dread Knights. So honestly, I'm gonna guess that most of these, there's probably very, very, very few of certain attunement crystals because they're going to be focused on the main and second highest stat of each of them. It's like Dragoons are all probably going to be dropping the same crystals. Sages probably all dropping the same crystals, and Dread Knights all dropping the same kind of crystals. Whereas the lesser was probably spread out among all 8 basic and advanced 4 advanced classes. So it'll be interesting to see how the market plays out for these. I'm kind of I think my strategy right now, let me know what you're thinking with these Babypunch, but I'm going to, because it's getting harder and harder to level up, like I'm going to be using one of these every single time I level up, like a mythic or a level 6, rare or higher hero.
Yeah.
I am probably not spending any of these on like my profession quest, like guys that are dedicated profession questers. And I just I don't want to use too many of them until I kind of see like a market for these. Because I think you will see like very large wallets who want to like min-max their heroes and will be willing to stock up on these.
Yeah.
But I've been wrong on a lot of predictions like that before. So
No, I agree. I think if you either have two options, you're either seeing what the market is to see if you can capitalize on a profit, or you're gearing towards combat. And if you're doing that, then you need to maximize time and start using these ASAP. Because honestly, if you're trying to pump several of these in, it could take 4, 5, 6 levels, and at this rate, that's months down the road if you're going to hit that many levels. And by then, there's a good chance we have other attunement crystals. So I think if you're going to be using these and gearing towards combat, you just start right now. You start by pumping them in, use them as often as you can. I wouldn't spread them across all heroes unless you only have a couple. Then use them. But if you only have a couple, likely you probably don't have too many of them. So I would throw them on your strongest heroes. Anyone that you think is going to be really competitive in combat, I would start using them now. And then down the road, there's a good chance we're going to have more attunement crystals and enhancement stones that we're going to continue to use, is my kind of guess.
I'm gonna hop over. There was a couple. So we also had the announcement today. I wanted to highlight a couple things. There was some interesting stuff. So there was actually some like pretty sweet alpha with respect to game mechanics. So the first part of the announcement was the announcement of Kingdom Studio. I'll let you guys just read that. No need to spend more time talking about that here. There was the Perilous Journey update, gave a bunch of stats. But then we got down into some interesting stuff. So land tournaments. A lot of people were like, they wanted to know, hey, how can you give us more details on how this is going to work? Because we have these plus 15 stats for anyone that survived, and we kind of need to know, like, it would be really helpful if we had more details on how the land tournament is going to work before we allocate these. So here are some details he gave. So like he didn't give us the formula, but he gave us kind of a rough thing. So what it is you look at the two stats. So if it's the tournament of strength, you're only looking at the strength stat for each of the two heroes. If you have the blue gene, it's a modifier. If you have the green gene, it's a modifier. If you have the purple gene, it's even more of a modifier. So taking that into account, you just look at the two stat differences and then it rolls a dice essentially. If the stats were, if all things were equal between the two heroes, 50-50 chance. And then he kind of gives the scale. Like if one hero was 5 higher, it'd be more like a 47-53 chance. A 10-point differential would be a 40-60. Yeah, I think I must have put a typo here. 10 higher, it would be 25-75. And then all the way up to 40. I just don't see any hero where this would ever be the case. It'd be 10-90. So, I mean, I think if you're in the mid-20s is probably pretty high for a stat right now.
Yeah.
So if you have mid-20s already or even low 20s and you hit the +5 on it, you're probably sitting in a pretty good spot where it's really going to come down to like roll of the dice.
Yep, luck.
So we don't know how much of a difference like genes make, but I mean, if you've got a hero, if you're really gunning for a land tournament and you've got a hero that has a purple gene that's high, one play might be to at least use your, and let's say you sent this hero on Perilous Journey and they survived. There's a lot of assumptions here, but if you've got a hero who's got the survivor badge, has this plus 15 stats he can allocate, and he has a purple gene that's already pretty high, probably makes sense to at least put one of the +5 bonuses on that, because it's going to make him more viable for the tournaments. And then you would just focus on the tournaments for that specific stat for that hero.
Would you do that even if the primary stat was not one that aligned with the class? Say you had a knight and he had a purple luck. If you had purple luck and pretty high luck, would you still pump one of your 5 stats into luck, even though knights are strength, endurance, vitality?
If his luck is already like super low, probably not. But if it's like a mediocre luck, I would consider it. I mean, luck is never bad, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna be hitting like crits, like, you need luck. So
Yeah.
I actually put luck on a lot of my heroes when I level up, anyways. But like, for example, a knight with wisdom, and his wisdoms are like, it's purple wisdom, and it's like 6, and like, his other stats are like high teens. Yeah, I'm not using
Not
my
worth it.
+5 on that. No.
But archers, I mean, for example, archers, they've got pretty good success rolls, say for agility and for vitality. And if you had a purple stat on those, that I could see that being
Yeah.
really beneficial as well.
Yep. I agree.
So
When we?
one
Oh,
other
go
thing on
ahead.
those land tournaments, he said it was going to be round of 7, right? Best of 7.
Yeah. Yep.
So best of 7, and it's not just going to be take into account your boosted stat and see who has the highest. It's going to be a roll percent. So, whether it's 40 or 60, 40 to 60, you still have a shot to win those rounds. And, luck can always come into play, and you could win a land tournament. If I recall, he did say it was going to be bracket style, correct?
Yeah, I think it'll be bracket style, and I'm assuming it's just like you do your 7, and then you proceed on and work your way up. He mentioned there would be he's planning on runner-up prizes, so I don't know what that will entail, but that's pretty cool. Robbie Mitchell says, "Wait, does stat bonuses specifically count for the land tournament?" Yes. We don't know what the impact will be, but having the blue, green, or purple gene will give you higher success rate for winning your rolls.
Jay Allen asked, land tournament's going to be 1v1 for heroes,
Yes,
and I
that's
believe the
right.
answer is yes.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna keep this pretty short, but there were a couple other things that were really interesting. Update on Gen Zero. So there's a ton of Gen Zero raffles coming out. 200 from Perilous Journey. There was a bunch from snapshots that happened between January and February. Those are gonna happen. You'll get, they'll do the raffle. I'm assuming sometime. They'll obviously do it before, but those airdrops won't actually happen until phase 2 of Crystal Veil launches, which is the launch of heroes. So like phase 1 is Dex and Gardens. Phase 2 will be heroes. There was one specifically I wanted to. This one.
Oh, the dexterity.
Yeah, so he said everything we've said about stats still holds true, but we're in the process of developing the combat system. As we've developed, some things have changed somewhat, and Dex is becoming more of an accuracy stat. So if you look at docs, the stats, Dexterity originally said plays a lesser role in defense and modifies attack damage from certain weapons. He said that will still remain true. So it will. He said it still modifies certain attacks for certain heroes, but it is becoming more of an accuracy stat. So if anybody's ever played like Diablo 2, that's what this kind of really reminded me of. So anybody that has physical attacks in Diablo 2, whether it's like a melee character or ranged weapons, if you didn't have dexterity, your hit chance would be super low. So like you could have like some yoked guy with super high strength and really good weapons, but your hit chance might be like 10% because your dexterity sucked so bad. So you always had to have a certain amount of dexterity so you could at least hit the hero. So hit chance. That's what I interpret when I see accuracy. I don't know. What do you think, Babypunch?
Yeah, no, that's going to be super valuable for damage dealers. Like, it doesn't matter if you have super high damage if you're not going to be landing your attacks. So, archers, that's going to be really important. Anyone that has super high physical attacks. I don't know if that's necessarily going to play into magic dealers, wizards, priests. I don't
There's
imagine it will, but
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it impacted like the chance of a spell to hit.
I
But
imagine it's probably just physical attacks.
I could see it impacting skills that are like more attack-based skills.
Hmm. Which is interesting because a lot of my level ups for my archers, I have been doing dexterity, strength, and agility hoping for those quicker animations, or not animations, but
Like
instances of
speed.
attacks. Yeah. And now I'm definitely going to be changing to endurance so that those attacks will have a higher chance of landing.
So a couple of Charlie, Sprocket, and Jay Allen both noted Warriors. Their second highest stat is Dex. So how many of you out there have been putting Dex on your Warriors and Knights and Paladins? I bet the number of you that have been doing that is actually pretty low. And I'm guessing that the most common stat allocation on level up for your Warriors has been Strength, Vitality, Endurance. So at least that's how it's been for me. I definitely think it's worth allocating some Dex because you're going to need it if you're going to be hitting like melee attacks, melee skills. So Dex, don't sleep on Dex, guys. I think it's going to be more important than you think. You don't want a guy who's got a really strong attack power but can't hit anything. That's how it was in Diablo 2, and I'm just it's like it smacks a lot of that. So, guys, definitely go check out this AMA. There was some really helpful stuff. They answered some questions in voice, and then afterwards they responded to a bunch of questions. Really helpful stuff and some really interesting stuff. So definitely go take some time to read it. It's in my Medium.
So, Robbie Mitchell, actually, you are exactly right. I had mixed those up in my brain. Dexterity was one that you always choose on archers because it's their highest percent chance. And yes, I was I had Dex and endurance kind of flip flopped in my brain, but yes, Dex already is the highest, and for sure is one that you will continue to max out. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of the people out there who sent heroes on the perilous journey who didn't have super good luck, just try to stay positive. I know it's got to be really painful, especially this is money. This is real life money, and it's hard to see money just kind of vanish. So stay positive, and hopefully you'll be able to see really good benefit from the rewards we got from the deaths. You've got some jewel, you'll have these enhancement stones. So let's see what kind of monetary benefit we can get from the stones and the attunement crystals, and see, hopefully, combat. You might be able to get a leg up in combat. So heart goes out to everyone who did not have a lot of good luck in the perilous journey.
Yeah. Much love, family. Like, I hope just hang in there. We're all gonna make it. One last question. Han Solman, I can't see my crystal tokens. Where do they show? These won't show up until March 30th when Crystal Bell opens. You're gonna get all the airdrops that have been building up. All the hero leveling, hero holding, hero summoning, all that stuff, all that crystal, it's gonna be airdropped on the 30th. It'll be airdropped before the single staking opens. You'll have enough time to get your jewel over there if you're planning a single stake jewel, and all more details will be released on that. So I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, good luck, guys. Thanks for joining us. And I don't know. Do you have anything else, Babypunch?
Not particularly. I mean, all in all, DFK has been announcing and releasing a lot of cool updates with Crystal Bell and their expansion to Kingdom Studios, and just new updates as far as game mechanics. And so, even though we're in the middle of kind of this bear cycle, and we've got a lot of social war and just FUD in the market, I think overall DFK is doing everything that they should be doing. They're not worried about price. They're just worried about developing the game, and they're coming out with a lot of stuff. And so overall, I'm still really bullish on this project. I think the team is top notch, and they're releasing stuff and they're making advancements, and they're not just worried about the price of Jewel and stacking everyone's bags. They want to produce a fun game that everyone can play. So it's hard to see, and honestly, it's easy to get really discouraged when you've got a lot of money invested into the game and the price is just going down, and you don't really understand why, but there's a lot of factors that contribute to that. And my personal and non-financial advice is, just I'm excited. I want to see where the game goes. I think they're doing everything right. That doesn't mean they're going to be successful, but I see no signs that they're not going to be successful either.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I was actually looking at all the like recent airdrops and snapshots, and like honestly, guys, like please find another project that's doing the same amount of effort and listening to community members. I know there's a lot of people who complain about certain things like, oh, this is a whales game. The airdrops are for whales. But like, go back and look what the changes they made. They opened up a 25 Gen Zero raffle on that last secret snapshot, 25 Gen Zeros, and it's capped. The highest person has 200 tickets, and like all the way down to like really low amount has 200 tickets. So like, I mean, they're doing stuff like that to help smaller wallets. I don't see any other projects doing anything like that.
Yeah.
So super bullish on this still. Super stoked for Christovel. We'll have our Saturday stream, and then we'll do our play stream again next week. So hopefully we have more details and more things we can talk about from like the upcoming AMA. But
do we have anyone planned for Saturday yet?
No, we're still working on that. All right, guys, have a good one.
Hey, tune in Saturday, and much love to the family.